All right. Shalom to everybody. This is Rav Kook everywhere. We just opened the book completely randomly. It's something that we thought, would hope would activate our soul. So say my name. My name is Ezra Amichai from the Jerusalem Soul Center, from Ayin, from many holy Yichusim sources of goodness. This is in the chapter of the life of penitence, number 9. Abraham Isaac Cook says the following: when the thinking person, that's already important, someone's thinking, withdraws into solitude and his inner spiritual strength is activated, okay, just give yourself a little time to actually breathe and think and grow. He then feels all the flaws that have damaged his soul because his actions and dispositions are not what they should be. You can go either way, right? You have this moment of awakening. So it can be a moment of awakening, or it can just make you feel how much I've been sleeping now. All right? It says, when the inner anguish becomes outwardly manifest with full gravity, or when his outer condition deteriorates, as in times of disaster and trouble, then the inner feeling will not be firm. But, my goodness, it's a book. Even then, it may lead to its climactic end. So penitence, even when induced by suffering, is still penitence. Penitence is tshuva. But I'm going to read there's one more little one right underneath it. Maybe that'll bring it together. The inner anguish that is I do not know this word, that is a concomitant, a penitent. Concomitant, a penitent. Okay, is excellent raw subject matter for poets of melancholy to express their music and for artists of tragedy to show through their talent. I think that's an important point. That you could easily read this and say, I'm not a sad person, I'm not a heavy person, this is not where I'm at exactly. But the point is that every experience that we go through, that when you withdraw, Vasav shows, this is Rebbe Nachman, you pull back in, but when you go back out, so you pull back in order to activate yourself, to activate your inner you, yeah? And then once you go back out, you're a different person, I think. You're still you, but you've activated all of the impulses that were inside. You're able to bring it out. And it's saying that like that's an inner anguish. It's something that's inside of you. But when it's wrought, you could look at that and say inner anguish is tying me up, I can't go anywhere. When you say it's excellent raw subject matter for poets of melancholy to express through their music, for artists of tragedy to show through their talent, the point is, even from the darkest places, Vatzir Shaol, Hineka. That's the whole Rebbe Nachman Torah. Okay? That even from the darkest places, that's the best point. The simplest thing that you could think of is when someone told you, that you're like, elevator or an escalator and you're on the bottom floor. So you think, oh, I'm on the bottom. No, what do you mean? You can only go up. Okay? And that's so too, everything that we experience, everything that we go through, we draw into ourselves, we think about it, we process it, and then we elevate ourselves up through it. And I think we really become higher. We become more in touch. The most important thing is to be in touch with ourselves. Okay. Mishnechnas Adar, it's nice. Rosh Chodesh Adar, Mishnechnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha. So Mishnechnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha. The famous thing is Marbim B'Simcha, but Kilu Izad Golali Ob'Simcha. We're really blessed to be happy always. But how can we be happy always? All right. How can we be happy always? It doesn't make sense. It's not. The world's heavy. This is happening. That's happening. People are, but happy does not mean that, I'm just, happy means harmony. Happiness is harmony, meaning that everything in the world is connected, okay? So that means that in the other, I have an extra sense of awareness that everything is connected, that everything flows from the one, that everything flows, again, even in the deepest times. Is there a deeper time than Mordechai in front of Haman, and everybody's bowing down? He's the only one who's not bowing down. That's the moment of the inner solitude of drawing back into yourself and saying, I have kohot here. It can really affect and not be afraid. Lo l'chafei klal. But there's other chance to just move forward. Shechnas adam rabim b'simcha. Like, b'simcha means harmony. To feel more and more of the harmony that's in each and every one of us. Each and every thing that we do. And the school of Rav Kook, because Rav Kook brought all the worlds together, being in a time of intense secularity on a certain level. It was secular. People were creating the state of Israel, but at the same time, coming from a Hasidic tradition filled with Torah, filled with tradition, he said it's not mutually exclusive. That that each one of us has our inner anguish, but if we connect deep into who we are, then we can project forward and create a future together. We create a future that unites everything that we are, and that's what he did, and that's what he does to this day. And he keeps pushing us forward in any time of hardship. Read one line of Rav Kook, and you will be elevated. You will not be stuck. I give us all a bracha, B'ezrat Hashem. Really, that we Me'atzia Sheol Imesak Shamayim Shamata. He says that if you're in the highest levels, so there you are. B'atzia Sheol Ineka, but also in the lowest levels. The highest levels is not the biggest challenge, but the lowest levels, the hardest times, that's what pushes us a little more. So I really give us all a bracha. In our hardest times, our times of Mordechai Yehudi Yoshe Bishar HaMelech, when he was in that hard place, he turned it all around, and then he was B'levush Malchut, right? That he became the Melech, he became the king, he gained those things through taking his inner anguish, turning it around, and then his whole outside reflected that new being that he was. And he had this incredible beauty that surrounded him. So we should all be blessed to that, to bring out the inner essence of who we are, because it's really there. Bring it out. Hashem loves it. We love it. It's Rav Kook. Having me take a coin. We're going to let it play out. Amen.